backwards. Look at that. Here we are again. The last video, which this is going to be a part of, we were talking about fretwork and how frets are put in and all that kind of stuff. And we ran out of time on the old card, so we got a brand new card in the camera. And I just wanted to continue, and I hope Dave O'Connor gets all this right, because he's the one who has to edit all my junk here and make it look like I know what I'm talking about. You know. Anyway, we already leveled this fingerboard. I'm not going to get into that right now, but that is, like I said before, is the key to having a good fret shop. If the fingerboard isn't right, you're going to have trouble no matter what. And that's a little bit. Right now, I don't have anything that we're working on right now. All these fingerboards that we have already been done. So, but I just wanted to show you a couple of things. These I got from StewMac. It's a steel bar with and we just put different grits of paper on it with two-sided tape, or sometimes they have an adhesive backing. But we take this. It's pretty much dead level, and we use that to level it. And then also from StewMac is the radius block, where I use a 16-inch radius on most of my fingerboards. So over the years, I swear to God, I've done this thing 1,000 different ways. I used to use the belt sander and take the neck and go back and forth on the belt sander like this to get it started. And then I had a block that we made up, because a lot of this stuff wasn't available back when I started, so the blocks were not really, since I made them myself, they weren't as accurate as the ones you can get now. And then this is also from StewMac. This is like a little wooden block. It also has the same radius. And after I get the fingerboard straight and radius properly, I go back over it with this little block and clean up little areas. Like this was already done. It looked good. I just happened to see a little spot where it was not quite what I thought it should be. So I was just going over it with this. And I got it down now where I think it's perfect. So it's perfect as I can see. And then this is 120. After that, and before you do that, you just take your brush. Like I said, have a brush handy, have an air can handy, have a little paper towel handy, have your crazy glue handy. All that stuff should be right here, so you don't have to go crazy looking for it later on. I'm just going to put a little piece of 180 on here. It's almost nothing. It's just to clean it up, that's all. I'm just going to go over the whole fingerboard like that and get it. And that's probably going to be enough. I'm not really taking much off at this point. Another thing about sandpaper, you might want to do this. The finer grits, the dust stays in a lot more than the heavier grits. But it's a good idea to try to keep the sandpaper, as expensive as it is. 220. I just go over it by hand. And again, I'm not doing anything. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit, that's all. On one of the videos coming up, we'll show you exactly what happens before all of this, because it's pretty intense getting the fingerboard straight. There's a lot of things you have to look for. And that should do it. We're ready for frets. We were actually ready for frets before I did that, but I just wanted to clean it up a little bit, that's all. And again, I dust it out. And I already showed you on that other video, how to put the frets in with a hammer, where to hit and all that stuff. I'm just going to run this saw through. This saw, I've had this thing for 9 million years. It's dull. This thing wouldn't cut dull. But the oil and the dust that builds up into the fret slots, this is perfect for that, You can just run it through, and you're not causing any damage. You're not going too deep. You're not cutting any. All you're doing is taking out the dust. Because you can blow it out and you can vacuum it out, but there's that little bit of oily stuff that sits in the bottom of the slot, and it's not going to come out. Best bet is to do this. You can see a little bit coming out, like there. That I already dusted it and I already blew it, and there's still a lot in there. So you want to make sure the slot is clean. That's for sure. And like I said before, everybody has their own ways of doing things different. People who do fret work do it differently. And for me, this always works for me. I've been doing it like this for a long time. I must have done thousands of fret jobs, at least hundreds and hundreds of them before I ever even started making instruments. When I worked with Danny Armstrong and I was working with Eddie Deal, trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. We did a lot of fret work before I ever started building instruments. Anyway, I want to show you a couple of things we talked about on the other video about how the fret goes in, how the hammer, all that stuff. I'm not going to put any glue in this slot because I want to show you something, okay? Because the other day when I was doing it, I was showing you if you hit too far to the end, what will happen? If you hit too far to the center, what's going to happen? I think if you actually seen that, might be a good idea. So if I glue this in, I won't be able. I'll have trouble getting it out. So I'm just going to put it in. Let's say the wrong way. Okay, the fret wire, the radius is done. The fret wire is already radiused, and if I hit this thing in the center,